It has been a long, long time, but I'm here. Okay, hello. Welcome to episode 3 of the Thread of Gold Knitting podcast. My name is Nicole. I'm a 23-year-old knitter based in Dundee in Scotland. And this is just a podcast where I talk about knitting. I talk about things I'm going to knit mostly, or things I'm currently working on. And just, general knitting related escapades. It has been a while since I last recorded an episode and thus put out an episode. A lot of stuff going on, mostly busy with a new job, so I've been finding my feet there. But a couple other things which we can get into later. I have an acquisition to show you. This is very out of the usual knitting podcast structure and my usual structure, but I have a really special acquisition to show you guys, and I really want to get this out of the way first because I don't want to just keep it sitting in the box here in front of me. So I have it here. I know it's inside, so I haven't opened it yet. It's in an Amazon box, but it's not. It's not from Amazon. But I'm very excited to show this to you guys. So I think I didn't bring something to open to it. Sorry, whoa, slow down. I'm so excited. I didn't bring something with me to open it with, so I'm just gonna go grab something to do that, and yes, I'm gonna unbox it here with you guys. It's so exciting. Okay, so I've got something to open it with, and let's just get right into it. I'm gonna be careful here because I don't want to damage the kids. Okay, that's on the side. It's kind of hard to have like such a huge box just like on my lap. Maybe I'll speed this up. Okay.
Hello.
Wow. It's just what I ordered. Let me get this out of the box. Okay, so this is my acquisition. He is a walking, talking, living, breathing acquisition, so I will let him introduce himself.
Hi everybody, my name's Connor. I'm Nicole's biggest fan.
Nice.
Not just of the channel, but her as a person.
Wow.
I think she's wonderful.
Oh, that's really nice.
Okay.
Beautiful. And with that, so Connor's just he's a little guest on the channel, a surprise guest. We're still going to talk about knitting. We're not going to talk about any of Connor's hobbies.
I'm a knitting ally.
Yeah. Not a knitter.
No.
We're gonna hop right in with what's in my cup.
Oh, this is my favorite section.
This is Connor's favorite. What is in Connor's prepared something for us. Can you tell us?
Alright guys. Hey everybody, welcome back. This bean of brown. The podcast within a podcast. So today we have a very delicious, this is a faux espresso tonic. Faux espresso because to imitate espresso, because I didn't want to use my espresso machine.
What?
We have some Tilico.
Can you get that out?
Tila Ukro honey coffee from Square Mile Roasters. It's an Ethiopian bean. So I made a faux espresso using 10 minutes brew from Jonathan Gagne. And we're doing an espresso tonic with it. So
I am not linking Jonathan Gagne's
please
YouTube.
link Jonathan. It's like a blog post to his 10-minute how to extract more flavors out of the AeroPress or whatever he calls it, using a fellow Prismo attachment for the AeroPress. This is my hobby.
He's comfortable now.
Cheers.
Yeah, full espresso tonic.
For espresso tonic, yeah.
Can you... Okay.
You didn't see that, I winked at the camera.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Here's the first fun fact about Nicole on the podcast today. One of her favorite drinks is tonic water.
Sure, yeah, I love drinking tonic water. This is a little known fact for myself, is that to me tonic water literally tastes like lemonade. I don't taste any of the bitterness or like it's virtually indistinguishable from lemonade for me. And yeah, I love espresso tonics. It's delicious.
Cheers.
Thank you. Nice cups as well.
Yeah.
It's good day.
It's good. It's delicious.
Okay, so that's what's in our cup. And then we're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled events with what I'm wearing, what we're wearing.
We're not wearing the same thing.
We're not wearing the same thing, but we're both wearing knit objects.
That would be very cute. I would enjoy it if you made like a giant sweater we could both wear.
Oh.
At the same time, and then you could say what we're wearing, literally.
I thought you were gonna say like it would be nice if I also had one of those.
No, one big sweater, please.
So, I'll start off with what I'm wearing. I have my notes because it's been a while since I finished this. I mentioned a couple episodes ago. I made the same mistake in the first version. I said episode. I mentioned in the first episode that I started knitting about 6 months ago, and I think I finished this in February of this year, so that is almost pretty much exactly 6 months. This was the first knitted object and the first garment that I made. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the where is it? Yeah, this is the Open Trails sweater vest. It's a pattern written by Ashley Lillis. I think it's a free pattern. I can't quite remember if I paid for it or not. I think I didn't pay for it. It's knit on 9 and 8 millimeter needles, using the what's it called? Husky. Let me check. It's knit in Wendy Husky yarn in the color Apex. So this is a 100% acrylic yarn. It's like pretty comfortable. It's pretty soft. What do you think?
Yeah, that's really soft actually. It's also got really nice colours up close actually, like subtleties that you cannot see.
Yeah, I'll try to show you a close-up picture of it as well, so that you really get the colour. I can't remember what size I knit, and I didn't note it in my Ravelry. I think maybe a medium. And yeah, I started knitting this. I just really wanted a sweater vest. I wanted to be a sweater vest girly. I do quite like it, although I'm not totally happy with the bottom hem. It kind of flares out a little bit. Again, I'll probably insert pictures so that you can see it properly, but I don't quite like the fit of that. So I think I'm either gonna go back in and take off some length as well. I think it's a little bit long for me. And either add in some decreases or maybe add in some decreases and go down a needle size for this bottom ribbing here. It's just one by one rib. I can't remember if the pattern calls for going down a needle size at all for this bottom rib. I think you just knit the body I think you just knit the body in the 9mm needles and also the bottom rib in the 9mm needles, and you only go down to the 8mm needles for the what do you call it? Armhole ribbing.
I'm just gonna call it a sleeve holder.
So, there's a couple of modifications I might make to it. However, I find it really cozy and really comfortable to wear. I wore it a lot when semester was still in, and yeah, it's cute. I think it's cute. I probably wouldn't knit another garment in such a chunky yarn. I'm quite sure Apex Husky is, I think it's chunky. But yeah, I really like the color. I spent a long time picking the color with one of my friends at university, and it was a long time in the making. I was going to give it away, but I ended up kind of really liking it, and it didn't take that long to make, so I might make somebody else another one. But I think that's all I wanted to say about this object. Let me just double check my notes. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this object.
Fun Nicole fact number 2.
I
She had no idea I was doing this. Long before she'd even made this, when she was talking about picking up knitting as a hobby, whenever we would go into clothing stores and I would pick up a knitted object, she was like, don't buy that, I could just knit you that. And she had this went on for 2 or 3 months, and she had never actually knit anything yet. So I was like, yeah, sure, I believed in you, but also like there was no evidence.
Yeah, it was all chat. It was all chat.
Nicole does sometimes, as everybody does, pick up hobbies like me, and sometimes put them down again before you do anything productive. But then she made this, and I was incredibly impressed, and I had to eat my words.
Yeah, you did.
Because she went from having never knitted to knitting a beautiful sweater vest.
Yeah. This is also, I forgot to mention, this is knit bottom up, and then you split for sleeves here, and you join at the top. I can't remember if there's any shaping of the back. I don't think so, because it's a very beginner friendly pattern, and Ashley also has YouTube videos to supplement, like really, really quite detailed YouTube videos to supplement the pattern. So I think if you're in the market for a beginner sweater vest, I'd knit this. I did knit this.
Do you think it should still be called split for sleeves if there's no sleeves?
There's technically, so you split for sleeves.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to give too much about the pattern away, because I can't remember if it's paid pattern or not. But you split for sleeves, and then you join up at the top.
This is like one of those national secrets things. You're like, I can't remember whether this is a classified document.
Yeah.
I'm under oath. We've got an NDA.
Yeah. You split for sleeves, and then you join at the top, and then I don't know if you can see it, but you actually go in and knit.
So you have that's a tiny sleeve.
It's a tiny sleeve.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. I'm so glad you explained that to me. That this isn't actually a sleeveless vest.
No.
This is just a vest with very tiny sleeves.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah. So you are still splitting for sleeves.
Wonderful.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Right, then tell us about what you're wearing. I'm very excited about this. I did mine first so that you could have a bit of a template for how this is going to go.
Yeah. All right. This is a sweater. It's green, and it's got some yellow as well. It's very beautiful. Nicole made it for me very lovingly. She kept it from my eyes for, how long did this take you?
So this took me about 2 months to make. So it actually took me exactly 2 months. I started on June the 12th of this year, and I finished it on August the 12th. So 2 months to the day. Mm-hmm.
She kept it from me.
Yeah.
Pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
So I only got given this a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. I love it.
I'm not asking you about your feelings. I'm asking about like the details, like the specs.
So.
And then you can tell us.
Thanks for asking.
Yes.
This sweater is knit in one direction. It has significantly longer sleeves.
Which direction?
Down.
Carry on.
Up to down,
Okay.
and then upside down, and then you knit the sleeves, and then you stitch them on. No, wait, no. I actually know this. This one is a special Scandinavian style jumpus. And you knit it just like all the way around, and it's got a special thing because you don't attach the sleeves, and it also has this really, really cool design on it. I remember you talking about this 2 months ago. This one is knit in a special way, and then it's like it's also got that special thing that sometimes people make it into like a what do you call it, like a cardigan or whatever, and then they have to knit the whole thing, and then they like have to cut it, and then they have to do a special stitch. I remember you told me about this. Is that right?
You are so sweet.
Oh no, I'm so wrong.
Sweet boy. My sweet child. Here's the thing. I had a random conversation with Connor about steeking. Which was like, this conversation was like, I would like to have an Ingrid sweater, and it would be cute to have it as a cardigan, and then you can knit it round, like as you just said, you knit it in the round. As you know what steeking is, right?
Who doesn't?
And then you cut down the middle, and I was telling him, and he was asking, well, wouldn't it just like all come up?
And action.
Oh, you look so sad.
To cheer myself up with another coffee.
Be happy. Okay, so we're back. Connor had his first technical. What do you call it?
Not blooper.
Not blooper. Technical error.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Technical. He's officially a YouTuber. I don't know what happened, but we were talking for like 25 to 30 minutes. And then we had a look at the camera. Because I'm using my back-facing camera, I can't see whether it's recording or not, and I don't know what happened, but it just stopped recording mid sentence. So okay, first of all, we're back with we'll do another What's in My Cup. Connor's cheering himself up with another coffee. I'm having one as well. I don't know what's going on here. I see Maltesers, which I'm very happy about.
This is the antithesis of the previous coffee, which was very much a specialty coffee. I have run out of specialty beans. This is instant coffee in a blender. We also ran out of milk, so it's milk powder with ice, and then just blend it up. So it's a faux Starbucks kind of style drink, and I topped it with Maltesers because Nicole loves Maltesers.
I do. I really like Maltesers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I recall we had a look at the last little bit that was recorded, and Connor was telling us about his not steeked jumper. Unsteeked jumper.
No steeks inside.
Although very impressive that Connor has a pretty decent like general understanding of what steeking is, based on a conversation in passing that I had with him about steeking. But thankfully,
is inviting me in your podcast just an elaborate ploy to see how much I pay attention to you?
Yeah, a little bit. No, you pay a lot of attention to me. Yeah, you're very good about it. So, so we've already done this once. Connor should now be better at it. Connor is going to continue.
Oh, I just put my foot in it there.
Connor is going to continue to tell us about his sweater, and because he's already done this, I then talked about the actual specifications of the sweater. So there we go. How much has Connor been listening? He can tell us. You can now tell us more about the sweater.
The numbers and stuff are going to go over my head. It's knit top down. It's knitting around. It is an Ingrid Sweater Man small. I then, previous me, commented on, oh my goodness, this is a small. I'm a very large man, height-wise at least. I'm 6 foot, or 183 centimeters. And this is a small. Wow. I don't know. Yeah. So and then all the other specifics. We didn't get the sleeve conversation in there, did we?
No, but we'll dig in.
So Nicole was commenting on the fact that when she was doing the decreases for the sleeves, that the what's this called? Ridging.
The ridging.
The ridging is kind of a little bit messed up. So. Like, you can see how it, like, kind of all goes in lines here, and then there's a specific bit here where it kind of gets a little bit jumbly, and the kind of lines go into nowhere. And I said, oh, I never even noticed that. And I think it's very subtle, and I think that nobody would really notice it. And then you were saying about how we were saying it was just one of these things with knitting, how it goes with the territory. And I quite like things like that. It makes it more special and unique. And it proves that a machine didn't make it. And then you were saying that there was kind of a little bit of it's a bit ambiguous in the instructions. It just says to do decreases for the sleeve itself, but it doesn't specifically say how to do that. Somebody in your comments previously had told you to maybe try using a smaller number of needle, but you didn't want to do that. You thought it would look weird, so you just did this, and it kind of bodged it a little bit, and then it kind of came out looking pretty good, to be honest. And then you were saying that if anybody else had any other suggestions for how to properly do this, to leave it in a comment down below in order to help anybody else who would be trying to do the Ingrid Sweater Man in the future. You also then talked about how you don't like the ends of the sleeves. You thought that they were a little bit not flanged.
Flanged?
What's the term I'm looking for? Sticky outy. They don't. You want them to come in to a point. What's the term I'm looking for?
To a point.
Yeah. What's it called?
Just carry on.
Yeah. And then you were asking if somebody who would be more expert could tell you how to do that as well. And what else did we discuss?
The collar.
The collar. You were saying it's not currently. Oh, it's doubled over. It is a doubled over collar, so it goes up and it goes whoop, like that. Well, the one thing I did want to include, because I enjoyed this when I was talking about the design here, is that I said, there was the instructions a bit like, and the rest of the owl, which is a meme that...
Draw the rest of the owl.
Draw the rest of the owl that Nicole will put here.
Again, I'm not putting it in there. No. I will not be putting it in there.
Nicole said I was going to do it.
I was saying that Connor will learn. I was saying that I was going to make Connor do some of the editing of where he's saying, I'm going to put this in, or we can put this picture in, because you want to minimize that. It's tedious, and it's like...
creating problems for your future self.
It's creating problems for your future self.
Yeah.
So for Connor to say Nicole's going to put that in is not what we're doing here. I think you did a pretty good job. What can you tell me about the wool? You didn't tell me about the wool. Oh,
the wool is very sheepy. It's 5. They sell it in sets of 5. That's a number I do know. Hold on, I'm going to check this is recording still. They sell it in sets of 5. Because that's approximately a sweater's worth, you guess, is what you said. And then I can't remember any of the specific details. You said it's a Celtic green.
Oh, god damn it.
Which looks great on me.
Yeah.
According to her. And me.
Who made the yarn? Who produces it?
I don't remember.
Whoever produces it. Anything else you want to add?
Oh yeah, you were also about the collar. This is really disorganized.
Yeah.
you were saying you might elasticate it to get it to go up into my shirts and make it look very smart and professional.
Yeah, pretty much that.
If you just want to summarize my great description, that would be fine with me.
Yes. So to summarize, the first time you didn't get the designer. You didn't get a lot of these things. I do like that you called this section here the ridging.
Yeah.
I think we can call it that in the future because it's not called that.
Oh, what is it called?
So, this is I'll run through it in a bit. This is a, as you mentioned, petite knit pattern. This is the Ingrid Sweater Man. I've talked about it on my podcast before, but this is it here. I'm excited that it's here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited that it's finished,
Yeah.
and I think you look so good in it.
Yeah.
I was, there's been today when he put it on for the second time actually. You tried it on yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I just think you look so good in it. The Celtic green colour, as you mentioned, and I've said it before, I really think it looks so beautiful on you. So, yes, this is knit in woolly knit Worth Mill DK. That is a DK weight, 100% British wool. In the colour Celtic green. It's quite rustic. That's another thing you and I talked about. How rustic it feels like compared to this acrylic. Yeah. This acrylic manages to feel quite soft and comfortable in comparison.
This is it doesn't. We've been looking at the clips back. It doesn't show up on camera. It feels like a really nice rustic sweater.
Yeah, but Connor, you're quite like sensitive to jumpers mostly, actually, to be honest, on your skin, or you're sensitive to certain fabrics on your skin. So
jumpers and tweed as well.
Yeah.
Tweed and what are kilts made of? Kilts made of tweed. I don't know. Whatever kilts are made out of. You can see this is my Scottish heritage.
Whatever kilts are made of. Cool. So
fake Scottish. That
is another thing we didn't mention in the last one. But if anyone has ideas, I blocked this with I think it's Eucalyptus wool wash just one time, and it didn't really I did a little bit. It softened the fabric a little bit. But if anyone has ideas about how we can really soften the fabric, DHify. Let me know in the comments down below. That would be really helpful. But I mean, I think primarily you would be wearing this with a shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think it looks so. Oh my god, it looks so good.
Yeah.
So this is knit on 4mm needles. And then maybe 3.5 somewhere in the sleeves. It's just the recommended needles is what I got gauged with. And the ridging that Connor was talking about earlier is the mock cable section. Last week or the week before, no, last week, I talked about decreases in the sleeves. And as Connor mentioned, the pattern kind of just tells you to do 2 sets of decreases every X amount of stitches. Nope. 1 set of decreases.
She struggled with the numbers last time too. She didn't get any better than numbers.
1 set of decreases every X amount of rows. So, because the mock cable section here is like 28 rows ish, if I had just gone with my initial plan, which was just to which is just to knit with decreases up to the mock cable section, do no decreases in here, and then continue with decreases past the mock cable section, I would be missing out like 3 or 4 decreases in this mock cable section, and I thought that would look strange. Like Connor said, somebody in the comments suggested going down a needle size in the mock cable section, so that it didn't look so that it still was tighter, but I don't know, I didn't want to do that either. if I was to knit it again, which I kind of am planning to do another Ingrid sweater for myself, I will probably just go down.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have matching sweaters, but I'll do the female version. I will probably I'll probably go down a needle size in this section. Or I will get to this section again and I'll be like, wait, but I'm smarter now. And I'll try to do the decreases in here again and mess it up again. So we'll see. So essentially I did do the decreases in the mock cable section every 7, I think, rows or something like that. And so as a result, of course, the cables don't match up, as Connor showed you guys. We were kind of saying that it's no big deal. There's a part of my knitter's brain that's like slightly unsatisfied with the way that that's turned out. But that's only because I made it and I worked really hard on it and I thought about it every day for a really long time. Do you see that, wasp?
That's a honeybee.
That's a honeybee. Nice. Okay, well, let's let them in. I was saying yesterday that we are not going to be able to live the homestead life of farming and enjoyment that we want to live until we get over the insect thing.
Yeah.
But in any case, so yeah, to finish off talking about this sweater, please Lord, for the final time, I'm just really going to quickly run through the bind offs. Because there's some interesting things happening here. So the bind off for the body is it's called like a surprisingly stretchy bind off from this book. This is called The Knitting Book. It's written by Frederica Patmore and Vikki Haffenden. It's a pretty like beginner, like standard book of information about knitting. I'll let you speak to the people while I find the necessary pages.
So I said this last time, very, very heartfelt, and I'll say it again. You guys are so lovely. Thank you for leaving such lovely, wonderful messages and comments for Nicole. She gets very excited about all of them. She reads all of them. She often runs through from the other room and says, Connor, look at this lovely comment I received on my YouTube video. So yeah, really appreciate that. It makes me happy how happy you guys make her. So keep leaving wonderful, lovely comments for her to read.
You were saying you were like,
and don't be mean to her, or else. And hold on, last time we both did that simultaneously without any planning. We went and be nice to her, and then we went, or else. You didn't do it.
No, I mapped it, but
okay.
Yeah, it was a very organic and lovely moment.
Yeah, that you'll never see.
You'll never see it, because Connor was saying, I'll give you the book in a second. I'll give you the book.
I'm used to.
I'll give you the book. But yeah, Connor was saying that he was like pretty concerned when I first said that I wanted to have a little podcast.
Yeah.
Because you were kind of worried about like.
I know how YouTube comments are and how YouTube people are in general, but the knitting community is an exception. You guys are unbelievably nice and kind and sweet and supportive. Yeah. Like, I ain't never seen people just give such genuine advice for free
and support
on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, the cast-on I used, now you can have the book.
There we go.
Is the very stretchy single rib cast-on from this book. This book is great. It has loads of like information about like finishing details, color work. It has this great section that I really like, which is where is it?
Oh wait, you went back to the where'd it go? No, the egg cozy. Yeah, you briefly there. The egg cozy.
It has a couple little like patterns that you can follow, but there's like sections on where did it go? Yeah, here.
There you go.
It has like little stitch patterns and like color work patterns, and increases and decreases that you can then, and like lace stuff as well, that you can then go further into the book and figure out and find out how to do each of those little sections. So I really love that. That's where I got the cast on for the body of this sweater. For the sleeve, I used, because I really like the way that the sections are split up by, sections of either purling or purling and knitting. Like it has these, it's split up by these sections. I've done this bit like 3-4 times now and I still don't know how to phrase that bit. But I really like that. So I didn't want to end this with just with an invisible bind off or, a tubular bind off or something like that. So I wanted to have some interest here. I wanted to have a ridge almost. So I did Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off up there. And it is surprisingly stretchy. However, I am not totally in love with the way that it kind of flares.
I said flanges.
You said flanges. I'm not totally in love with that bit up here. Connor says he doesn't mind it, but
because I can cuff it.
Because you can cuff it, that's true. But I might still go in secret and do little changes. If anyone knows how I can make that look a little bit better, because I still want it stretchy, but I want it to kind of cinch in. What's that?
That's leave it in the comments down below.
Oh, leave it in the comments down below.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
No.
Destroy.
No, please don't do that. Not here.
That bell.
Don't do that here. So, if anyone knows how to do that, let me know. And then for the collar, this is as Connor mentioned, a folded over neckline. It's like a doubled over, folded over neckline. Shoop. So you knit it double the length that you need it, and then you turn it over. And then so I use Petite Knit's supplementary videos that you can find on her website, which show you how to, in a single round, fold and attach the end of the collar to the inside and bind off in a single round. I tried that, and then I went to try to get it over my head, and it was so tight, like I could not get it over my head. I gave it to Connor, he tried it, and
also could not get it over my head.
Yes, because we both have normal sized heads.
I think I'm slightly on the small side, if anything.
Yeah.
Especially for being so tall.
Yeah. So we couldn't get it over either of our heads. I told him to take off his glasses and try again, and that didn't work. So
if you guys don't know, that's kind of a big deal.
It was.
To get it over your head.
Yeah.
It looks very silly otherwise.
Yeah, if you just have it up.
I kind of look like R2-D2.
So I chose to try it again. I ripped that back, and then I split those two steps into two separate rounds. So where Petite Knit has it that you fold and attach the neckline in the first round, in the same round as binding off, I split those into two. The first round I did was folding over the neckline and attaching it to the inside, and then in the next round I bound off. I don't know if it was that or just because I was also maybe trying not to hold my yarn too tightly or like with too much tension. But I tried that, and as you can see, it comes out a lot stretchier, a lot more comfortable, and he can get it over his head.
Yeah.
I briefly considered putting in elastic into the collar, but because of the aforementioned skin sensitivity, I don't know if I want to bring that closer up to Connor's neck, and I think it looks quite good as it is, especially because you're probably going to primarily be wearing it with shirts. What do you think?
Agreed.
Right, and yes, I'm quite sure that's all we wanted to say about that sweater. This is probably going to be the last time I talk about this because I've talked about this in previous episodes, is what I mean. And I don't just want to continually be talking about the Ingrid Sweater Man. I'll probably rehash it whenever I make my own Ingrid sweater in woolly knit again, in the colour Lupin. which I've shown you guys in previous episodes. Yeah, that's all we want to say about that. So we're going to take a little break and move on to our whips. Did you spill?
Whippy!
Did you spill the... Whippy! Okay, so with a little bit of movie magic, we now are no longer in our jumpers or sweater vests and sweater. It's really hot. We're sitting in front of the window, of course, and the sun's shining in. But got quite nice shirts on, I think so. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about my whip. I'm primarily gonna keep it. This is gonna be quite a short section, I think, because my muscle bra hat is in largely the same position that it was in last time. I haven't been knitting on it because I really wanted to finish. Oh, you're not wearing it anymore.
The thing I was wearing.
I really wanted to finish Connor's sweater, and I'm just so ecstatic that it's finished. However, so yes, I'm gonna have just one whip to talk about.
That's what you think, Nicole. In fact, actually, I have a whip to show you. Would you look at this?
Wow!
Yes, thank you.
Connor.
This one's for the fans. This is fan service, I have to say.
Can you tell us a bit about? You know, I've never really thought about the way that you hold up whips to show them, but I feel like this is upside down. I mean, it's not because there's no right way to do it, but this feels. So okay, I didn't know you were going to talk about this.
This is my whip.
So tell us about your whip.
Oh, good lordy.
Yeah.
Almost lost it there. So this is my whip. As you can see, it's still in progress. I'm working on it.
Where's my beer?
It's down here.
Oh.
Nicole helped me cast on.
Yeah.
She then tried to teach me how to knit. I almost said sew. There was lots of very comedic moments. Nicole repeatedly kept saying, "Why do you keep putting your fingers between the wool and the thingy?" Because I kept accidentally trying to knit my finger into the designs, which apparently isn't what you're supposed to do. I know that you're supposed to go anti-clockwise, and you make a little Y shape like this.
Wow, we're talking about so many things as if they're the same thing.
Yeah.
So okay. So
that's how you knit, guys. That's pretty much it.
This is now a tutorial channel.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is I'm gonna hold this the right way up.
Okay.
Here you go. So okay, basically I demonstrated how to do a long tail cast on for Connor. I thought it would be the easiest one to learn to begin with, but you know, whatever. We cast on how many stitches? 2,
10.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13.
There's supposed to be 10 there.
No, there's supposed to be 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Where did that last one come from?
I'm doing an increase.
Where did you increase?
So what is this supposed to be? It's going to turn into a lovely sweater for...
Scarf. Please, you're not making a sweater.
For our beautiful son, Jungle.
Wow.
Jungle, which is our nickname for Jungle Skog.
Yeah. This is our IKEA... Actually, I bought it for Connor. This is a gift for Connor.
Yeah.
IKEA Big Bear. And
there was a time in our relationship where we were kind of long distance, so she bought me Jungle Skog to keep me company.
Yeah. And company he did provide.
I love him.
Yeah, he's very cute. He sits at our piano and he plays piano. Because we don't. So we cast on initially we cast on 10 stitches, and then Connor told me his plan for making this a scarf for Jungle Skog. I thought we should maybe cast on another couple of stitches, and I did start doing that, and then Connor said, no, this is my project.
I said, how would you like it if you were knitting with the first time and I did 20% of the work?
Yeah, so he said, run that back.
Yeah.
I undid those 2 stitches, and then I was showing Connor how to do, is it garter stitch? No, not garter stitch. I can't remember what it's called, but the one where you just knit every row. You do knit stitches every row.
Oh yeah, Nicole keeps shouting at me for holding it like a pencil.
Yeah.
She kept saying, not shouting at me, very lovingly telling me not to hold it like not to hold it like a pencil, because she kept saying, when did I ever show you to hold it like that?
Yeah.
So apparently this is wrong. It feels right.
You can. There's no right way to do it. But I was demonstrating, how to do
because I'm an intercontinental knitter. What did you say?
Whoa. I like that.
Thanks.
Okay. I was demonstrating how to do the. Do you want to?
Sure, I'll do a couple of rows.
Knit and chat. I was demonstrating how to do the cast on, and then I would take it out and give it to Connor to do it himself. And there was definitely a learning curve for me as well, because I clearly am not the best teacher. Frustrations were high between the second and third stitch that was cast on. He kept doing something a little strange, and I would be like, I literally just showed you just now how to do that. What my fingers weren't there. But yes, we got there. I didn't think it was appropriate to teach him how to purl. So this is where we're at. Can you tell us a bit about the yarn, Connor?
Is that right?
What?
Did I do that right?
I don't know what this is.
I'm trying to do another row.
Mm-hmm.
You go zip.
Yes.
And then you go zip. You go anti-clockwise.
Yeah, but your yarn should be in the back, because you're doing knit stitches. Your yarn should start at the back, just the back of this needle, and then
I don't know what that means.
Your yarn is at the front here, like this. Hold it like normal.
Like normal? That's normal?
Your yarn is at the back, and then you put it in. It's okay. And then you do your anti-clockwise wrap of the yarn around your back needle.
Yeah.
And then you bring it back to where you got it from.
Yeah. We'll get him next time. You carry on with that. Okay.
But can you tell us about the yarn at the same time?
Wish I could.
Do you recognize this yarn?
This is the same yarn from your jumpers, the jumper vest.
My sweaters
vest. Yeah.
Yes. So since I just talked about the specs of that, can you give us a summary?
I think I ruined it.
Why
Put
that down?
You'll see in the instant replay what went wrong there, but that did not look right. Anyway, pass me that beer.
Can you give us the rundown of the yarn, please? Because I talked about it for my sweater vest. So just a quick summary of what I said.
Just remind me what type of coffee beans we used today. That's what I thought, guys.
These square mile coffee beans.
Yeah.
And they were so tasty.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Can you please tell us about the yarn?
This is just the same yarn that I used for my sweater vest. It's Wendy Husky, or Husky Wendy, I can't remember which way. Wendy Husky in the colour Apex. It's just a spare ball that I had from knitting the sweater vest. I did not buy more. But yeah, thanks for sharing your whip. When did you, can you tell us a bit about the timeline of it? Can we find it on your Ravelry? When do you expect to be finished?
Don't hold your breath.
How long do you think it'll be as a scarf for Jungle?
It's like somewhere in the region of somewhere between the length of the sleeves on your sweater vest to the sleeves on my jumpers.
Okay, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was I really appreciate you sharing.
You didn't say what's in my can. Hold on, what's in our can? We have some Northern Monk, which is a English brewery. Guava.
You're not speaking to the camera, babe.
Guava Hava.
You don't need to shout, but just in the right direction.
It's called Faith. It's a guava hazy pale ale. Nicole has been getting into beers recently. So she picked this up. She says she keeps walking past it in Tesco and thinks that it would taste exactly like guava juice and not a beer at all, which is why she wanted to drink it. And it actually delivers on that. It is very guava-y and not very beery, so it is a good starter beer.
If you don't like beers, it tastes very beery. I will also say, as a small aside, look at the colours on this can.
Beautiful.
Is this not a beautiful, like this really beautiful raspberry rich pink and this beautiful lime green? It actually...
Inspo.
I literally was gonna say, like, these colors are what I want my knits to look like. This, like, so juicy looking and like rich and vibrant. And yeah, we have a little bit of a color story going on here. That's very cute. Anyway, yeah, I love those colors.
Yep.
So before I talk about my my big whip, after Connor's magnificent, wonderful, beautiful whip. I want to tell you a little bit about my an acquisition, because it makes sense to talk about this before I talk about the whip. And actually, Connor, you can talk about it and make sure you get good shots of it and like show it off really nicely. Yeah. So
this is Edelweiss Fibers hand dyed yarns. Awesome. Clue standard sock, fingering weight 75% superwash merino, 75% nylon, 425 meters, 100 G's. It's very soft. It is very nice color, and it is in a double helix pattern design. Twisty twist.
So, yes, this is a fingering weight yarn that I got from Edelweiss Fibers, as Connor mentioned. This is an Edinburgh-based company, business, that is run by a wonderful-looking lady called Mariette Vosloo. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but she's a lady who is originally from South Africa, who came to Edinburgh to study linguistics, I think, in Scotland. So that's really cool. She then at some point started up a yarn company business where she hand dyes yarn. So I found out about this company because I'm very, very interested in locally sourced, you want to play with it?
Yeah.
Locally sourced British and ideally Scottish, super ideally Angus based or Dundee based, but I'm interested in yarn that I can get very, very close to home. I really want to like uplift Scottish businesses, and I think yarn and wool is something that Scottish people do incredibly well. So you will find I try to buy from small businesses, try to buy from local businesses in a lot of aspects of my life, and even when we go out for coffee, we go to independent businesses. That's what I'm looking for, independent businesses, and don't really do the big corporation vibe.
Speaking of which, the Amazon box that we had at the start of the
it's
video.
not ours.
It's not ours. It was when we were moving into this flat.
Yeah.
It was a moving box that somebody gave us. So
Yes.
yeah, we try not to shop at Amazon and bigger places like that.
Although if Jeff Bezos wants to sponsor these podcasts,
we will shill out. We will sell out on the.
Okay, so yes, one, I love Scottish independent businesses. Two, I am going to be going to the Scottish Yarn Festival in September. I'm very excited about this. I was incredibly excited about buying the tickets. How excited was I?
Very excited. Nicole, we were at a house party, and Nicole...
Don't point at the poor people with this yarn. Is that rude? I don't... Go on.
Nicole went to the site and asked me to come with her. She said, the tickets are dropping for the Scottish Yarn Festival.
I think I said dropping.
I need to get in on these, so she went in, she was reloading the web page like it's a Taylor Swift concert or something like that, trying to get her tickets. She said, I need 2 tickets, not just one, I need 2 tickets.
Yeah.
So literally the minute they went live, refreshed the page, tickets are up, she buys the tickets, locked in, she breathes a sigh of relief. And then I think she checked like 3 or 4 days later, and there was still like hundreds of tickets left. Yeah. So, yeah, she's very much looking forward to this.
I'm very, very much looking forward to it. But I found that Edelweiss Fibres are going to have a stall at the Scottish Yarn Festival, which is held in Perth. Mm-hmm. I recently found out.
For those who are not familiar with Scottish geography, Dundee's kind of in the middle, kind of east, and then Edinburgh is directly south of us, and Perth is kind of in between the two.
Yeah.
So Perth is maybe it's a 30-minute drive away, and Edinburgh's just about an hour drive south. So pretty close. Especially, I know there's a lot of Americans in the demographic who watch the videos,
and people from Denmark and stuff as well.
And Denmark, yeah,
that's cool.
But for the Americans, an hour drive is like your next door neighbor. So
yeah,
that's like a commute,
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna have a stall at the Scottish Yarn Festival, and I'm probably also gonna get something at the stall. But I wanted to check out. I thought that would be a good first kind of indie yarn, like hand dyed yarn, from Scotland to try out. And yes, it's superwash merino. Did you already say the percentages?
Yeah, I already read the whole back.
Yeah, it's called Autumn Cliché. It's handwritten.
Yeah.
So you can quite read it. Yeah. But yeah, it's this beautiful, like, vibrant orange. I have a picture of it in my Instagram. Yeah, it's super beautiful. It's super vibrant. It's a solid. It's a solid color. I'm knitting a project with this, and I will try to show you how it's looking when it's knit up. It's like it's like between a solid and a semi-solid. Like it's almost completely solid, but there's like little bits of like slightly lighter, maybe where the nylon or one of the fibers hasn't picked up the dye as vibrantly. But yeah, it comes up absolutely beautifully. The pictures are pretty accurate. I think when you're buying something hand dyed as well, sort of dye lots are not going to turn out looking exactly the same. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of like ever so slight editing on the pictures. So, but yeah, I think it looks really beautiful. It's really soft. This one, this hank, that's what it's called, by the way, not a double helix. Oh. Yeah, it's super soft, it's super squishy. This looks a little bit worse for wear because we were kind of playing with it and squishing it, kind of hitting each other with it, all very childish. But yes, so I'm going to show you the project that I'm making with it. I bought 2 hanks because I saw this pattern and I thought, oh, I'll need like 425 meters for this pattern, which the hank is 425 meters. And then I purchased it. As soon as it arrived, I was like, hang on a minute, the 425 meters is for like the smallest sized. So then I purchased another skein that came, and I don't know if they're the same dye lots. It's not marked. Sorry, I'm waving my hand like in front of your face.
I'm leaning over, like, very far over.
I don't know if they're the same dye lots, but they look pretty similarly. I'll only be able to tell when I start knitting with the second with the second. I don't know if you can see it.
They're pretty close.
I think they're identical.
Yeah. Even when you look at this actually now, there's some variation between some of the strands, which I think adds a certain.
Adds some like depth to it.
Yeah. Oh, hit the light as well. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
My cake looks incredibly messy. I apologize. But
That's what it's called, a cake.
yeah, when it's warmed up like that, it's called a cake.
Nice.
Isn't that nice?
It's adorable. Looks like a sweet bun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll show you the slight, I guess maybe heathering or slight marling, maybe not marling, that you can see, maybe, hopefully, in the actual knit. But anyway, some of you might recognize this. This is the Mini Mock Neck Tank by GGmadeit Designs. Connor, can you tell me where I found the inspiration for this video, for this knit?
Where you found the inspiration?
Yes, tell me just... Online. So, first of all, I saw this yarn on Edelweiss Fibers, and I immediately was like, GGmadeit. This color is channeling GG. I think it's so beautiful, I think it's so vibrant, and I have this leather jacket that Connor can tell you I wear with pretty much everything, that is going to look so beautiful with this yarn. Bridging the gap between autumn and summer, depending on when I get this finished. So this is heavily inspired by my fave, Knits by Náyla. I saw the yarn and I was in love with it. What do I make with it? And then I saw Knits by Náyla's, I think it was a test knit of the Mini Mock Neck Tank in this beautiful, vibrant, pink, almost like pinky purple yarn. I thought it was so beautiful. So that's what this is going to be. I'm so excited to have it. I am knitting it in a size large. I think the fourth size up. The first in the square bracket. Size large. And yeah, it's knitting up really quickly. I started it 2 days ago when I finished Connor's sweater. What's the date today?
The 15th maybe?
Today's the 15th?
14th.
Today's the 14th, yeah, so I started it 2 days ago. And yeah, it's knitting up beautifully. This is my second attempt at a GGmadeit pattern. The first was one of the crop tops that had a crisscross back, but I'll maybe show you that another time. It looks pretty bad, not because of the pattern, just I didn't understand how yarn choices work or how yarn weight works. So I think the pattern calls for like a fingering weight yarn, and I tried to use, I had bought enough yarn to make Connor a scarf, which did not go accordingly to plan, but that's a bit of a story for another time. But so it was like an Aran weight, no, maybe a DK. I had this cotton DK from like Paintbox yarns that I made into GGmadeit crop top, and you can put that down, babe.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. That's what I ask.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I made that into a GGmadeit pattern, and the pattern is fine, but it's not the top isn't fine because of the yarn. I do occasionally still wear it though. I wear it like around the house. It's like a comfortable, none of the ends are woven in. It's a pretty comfortable top that when we were doing a lot of yoga, I was wearing for yoga and just wearing about. But yeah, so this is my second go. I'm really liking the way that this is turning out in this yarn. I think as well, it feels this is going to be knit with negative ease, and I think I'm going to like the way that this stretches around my body. I didn't knit a swatch for this. It's small enough that
this entire thing is a swatch.
This entire thing. I saw somebody online was like, I can't remember who it was or what platform it was, so I'm not citing my source as well. But Somebody was like, we all knit a swatch eventually. I said it. You know what? I'm saying it now.
It's plagiarism. What? Whoever knows how to use words is stealing.
We all knit a swatch eventually, whether it's a little 10 by 10 centimeter swatch or it's your actual garment. So this is my swatch. It's small enough as well that like if it doesn't turn out well, I don't think it's going to take me that long to just re-knit it. Although I did measure this, so I did measure like how many stitches I got in 10 centimeters, and the first time I did it I got like 26 stitches, and the second time I got 24. I can't remember what the pattern calls for in terms of gauge, but in any case I think it's going to be fine, and if it's not fine I'll just redo it. I'm not afraid to redo things.
You know how the old saying goes, measure
buy
once,
twice, buy
no,
what?
Measure once, knit twice.
Sure. Yes. I did measure myself. I have my own measurements. And yeah, I think it's going to turn out fine. I'm really enjoying it as well. I tried to take it to the cinema. We went to watch a movie yesterday. I don't know if you noticed, but
You gave up.
I gave up on the cinema knitting very quickly because there's a little bit of there's slip stitches and a couple purl stitches in this like edge around the armhole, and I just couldn't do that in the dark. So I gave up, and I just enjoyed the movie that we were watching. It was a pretty good movie. What did we see?
We saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Seth Rogen and Jackie Chan. I thought it was really funny. So we got the Cineworld Unlimited, which is it's like Movie Pass for the Americans. I think that's no longer a thing. But yeah, you get unlimited movies for a fixed price. So it's like 11 quid, $10.99 or whatever. So I went along to it expecting very little. A classic cliche, chewing gum for the eyes, action, kids flick. And it was actually really good. There was lots of good comedy. It was very self-aware.
Connor was hooting and hollering. He thought it was so funny. There were parts that I actually had to be like...
she was like, you're being disruptive.
Yeah, tone it down.
Yeah. Like
he loved it. It was pretty funny.
The kids who were giggling at everything.
Yeah.
I was having a great time. There was some good jokes in it, and it was good. It was a good story.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Would recommend.
It was pretty
if
good.
you have the time.
Is that everything I wanted to say about this? I'm knitting this in 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter needles. That's a US 4. I don't know how the sizes correlate.
Let's not get political.
Anyway, US 4, I'm knitting this on Chowgoos, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yes, I think that's everything I wanted to say about this. Yes, I also want to mention, for anyone that doesn't know, why are you holding it like that? For anyone who doesn't know, I am a big fan of what I've been seeing of GGmadeit patterns. I really, really like that they offer a pay what you can type of scenario. You can pay different amounts depending on your income or what you're able to pay or what you want to pay. If you're subscribed to their newsletter, which is obviously a free subscription, and you can also obviously get access to calls for test knits and stuff like that if you're subscribed to the newsletter and that as well. So yeah, I really, really like that idea. If you're on a bit more of a budget but you still want to make something that looks really nice and cute, yeah, check those out. And yes, I think that's all I have for whips. Connor's talked about his lovely whip. Like I said, the Musselburgh hat there's literally been zero, I don't even think a single stitch knit on that because I've been focused on other things. But we can maybe take a short break and we'll move on to acquisitions. I have acquisitions that are not Connor. That's it for my whips. That brings us on
now
to...
watch me knitting.
acquisitions. I talked a little bit about a few acquisitions kind of dispersed throughout the rest of this video. I talked about the knitting book, which is a bit of an older acquisition. I talked about the Edelweiss Fibers yarn. I do have another acquisition. Some of you may or may not be surprised to see this, but I have it. I have to say the bag is pretty ugly. Chaogu needle set in all of its glory. Can you do it? Because I don't know how to add in sounds. I wanted
Is that what you want?
I wanted to angelic, like.
You don't want a drum call, like. My voice cracked.
This is the Chaogu needle set in all of its glory. It is the
US sizes. This is how you know what your US sizes are.
yeah.
Gotcha. This doesn't make any sense.
So anyway, I really was gonna keep this brief, because I'm gonna do another video where I properly like really get into
Ranting about US size.
That can be a spin-off. That's Connor's Connor's corner of the world.
Yeah.
Connor's corner. That's cute.
Aww.
Where I like have used them for a longer amount of time, and I can really get into giving like a bit of a review.
About really light. Wow.
Yeah. Notice I didn't give you these for your project.
No. Because you don't want me to bash them together.
Don't do that.
No.
Well, you can, but like, it gives me the. So far, I'm using them on a number of different projects. I used Chaogu's for half of Connor's sweater. I've got my muscle bra hat and the mini mock neck on Chaogu's. This is the, I think, complete set. I got this off someone on eBay for I think maybe over half the price, maybe 60% of the retail price.
I've noticed that this appeared in our house, and Nicole's never told me how much it costs.
There is a reason for that. Although I'm
assuming this is a premium brand, given the fact that I just pulled this out and it says premium knitting and crochet tools.
This is a premium brand.
That's okay. I buy premium stuff as well.
Yeah.
As you said earlier, buy cheap, buy twice.
Yeah, there's a place for cheaper products.
Yes. Until your boyfriend sits on them twice.
Yeah, I told you guys about the broken needles. Essentially,
those weren't cheap. They were just made of wood, and my ass is considerably harder than wood. A wood that is millimeters thick. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a complete set. So far, I am really enjoying using the needles. Again, I really wanted it to be a situation where it was like, don't go out and spend your money on this stuff. But there's a notable difference between using more budget friendly.
It's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Budget friendly.
Yeah, buying more budget friendly products and something more premium like this. There is also a difference between obviously knitting with wood and knitting with metal. I think I'm leaning towards being somebody who knits with metal needles. Although that's not like I'm not going to get rid of the wood ones I have. There's a place for those, which is Connor's Whip.
She said you play with these toys.
No, those are really nice. I really like
they're nice. They feel nice.
Yes,
they look really good as well.
They do.
They're very beautiful.
Yeah, those are the Knit Pro Symphony needles for anyone who's not aware. But I don't want to talk about it in too much depth. Because also, Connor, we've been doing this for hours now, recording this video, and...
It's worth it. This has been lovely. Thanks for having me.
Wait, we're not done. Wait. Chill.
I'm just giving you a in progress. I'm saying, still having a good time.
You're still having a good time.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, that's my acquisition. And then with that, I think that is like the bulk of the knitting content.
Can I acquiesce some of that beer?
Quick check of my notes. God.
You keep putting it down over there. I can't reach it.
Because it's mine. Because it's mine.
We share things because we're in love.
You're not meant to reach it. I wanted to talk a little bit more about what I've been up to, like where I've been. So this is the part where
I can say a lot of things.
You can say a lot of things, but it's also the part where, like, if you're not interested in that aspect, like aspects that are not strictly to do with knitting, you can watch one of my other videos.
You can get lost. We don't want you here.
Don't say that. It's not true. I do want you here, but you don't have to. You don't have to watch this part if you don't want to. But basically,
Can you imagine if you didn't give people permission? And
they're
like,
like,
I can't leave.
Oh God. Yeah, essentially, I've been really, really busy. I don't know, other people probably wouldn't say I've been that busy. My schedule isn't actually that full up, but I'm finding myself really tired, exhausted, because I started a new job. I briefly mentioned in a different video, a different episode, I had a job interview in which I cycled to work in a alpaca jumper, which was a bad idea, but I did get the job. It's in one of the local hospitals. Again, it's a very low level job, entry level, I think, actually. And
it's still important.
Still important, yeah.
Very valuable.
It is. I agree, a very valuable job. Somebody's got to do it. I've been doing 12.5-hour shifts for the first time, and I've also been pretty good about cycling to my shifts. So I just come back and I'm absolutely exhausted. One time Connor came home from a shift that he had at 2. He came home, his shift finished at 2 a.m. Mine had finished at 8 p.m. Previously. And he came home to find me, I'd made it out of my uniform, thankfully, but like in bed, still sitting up. And I think I maybe had my laptop still in front of me in bed. Lights are all on.
Yeah.
I am like fast asleep, sitting up with like a Magnum,
ice lolly.
It's like one of those ice creams that come on the wooden sticks. I had the wooden stick in one hand and practically the wrapper in my other hand, just absolutely KO'd. Yeah. And that Magnum was my dinner. Magnum? That's the brand of a... Can I say that on my YouTube channel?
What? It was an ice cream.
It was an ice cream. It was an ice cream and an ice cream wrapper.
Nicole was double checking, not the other kind of Magnum wrapper.
No.
Watch it. Watch it.
Oh my God, I didn't think I'd be skirting around these topics on a knitting podcast, Connor. So ice cream. Yeah, he does way more than I do, because I only have a part-time contract, so I'm doing like a quarter of the shifts of the time at work that Connor does. So it's definitely, I think it's just an adjustment period. I'm not doing that much work, but I'm still finding myself like...
It's a big adjustment period. Like when I first started doing it, like, yeah, you get really exhausted. And then, the more you work 12-hour shifts, the more it feels normal. And then, like, if I ever do an 8-hour shift now, like, by the time I realize at work, I'm like, oh, I'm going home in like 2 hours. So, you get used to it.
I'm very interested for people to kind of guess what we do. I'm not going to tell you, and Connor's not going to tell you what he does, because we're pretty private people, and there's like a lot of stuff that we don't want to put out onto the internet. But if you would humor me, because I'm curious about what kind of vibes we're putting out, and if you want to guess what I do for what I study as well, that would be interesting. I might tell you what I study, because I'm less concerned about that. But yeah, good vibes, please. No, we're almost at the end. I know you're tired, but please, let's keep it fun and happy.
I ain't tired. I'm telling you, I do 12-hour. I crush 12-hour shifts. I could do this all day. We're all in this together. Don't want to get copyright strike.
Once again, I'm cutting this singing out because I'm not fighting with Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to fight the mouse. The mouse
What
always
is
wins.
this? Knitting podcast.
Knitting podcast.
We're happy here. We're all really nice and having a fun time and a friendly time. Good. So I've been working. Pretty tired about that. However, I still had time to knit and still had time to create a podcast. In fact, I'm doing night shifts soon, and I'm very excited to be knitting away on my night shift. But I also had a bit of an accident. I was coming home from work. I just fell off it.
Easy as that.
No big deal. I was cycling down a relatively steep-ish road. I was, when you're cycling on your bike and then you're going down and you don't need to pedal, so you like stick your legs out on either side, and then I took my hands off also, so it was kind of like a star jump, but I was still sitting on the bike. No, not really.
And you went yippee!
Woohoo! Yeah, no, I was going too fast, and it was raining as well, as is wont to do in Scotland. So the road was slippery. I looked at my Garmin watch.
After the fact.
After.
You went also with your hands on your legs, staring at your Garmin watch.
Yeah, I looked at my watch after, and I was going at like 22 miles an hour. Which is...
about 35k an hour.
35 kilometers an hour. It is important, because I was going fast.
She was going fast. Pretty fast.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
And then I slipped. One of my wheels slipped or something like that. So I fell. I had a pretty nasty cut on my chin. I won't do a close-up of it, but I might put in a picture that we have after. Connor stuck a couple...
after I dressed you up, yeah, because I was like, don't put medical gore
No,
that.
yuck, no.
Yeah.
Connor patched me up after I spooked the neighbours a little bit. But yes, I fell off my bike and it kind of hurt to smile. Therefore, and it also hurt to like talk. And I didn't want to sit and talk in front of my camera for a really, really long time. When I was literally in pain. So yes, that's contributed to. My plan was to maybe record every 2-ish weeks. And yeah, it's been longer than that since I last recorded, which was not my intention. But I'm back now. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I was glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole really spooked the neighbours, so she rang the neighbours' bell first because they were closer.
No, they were outside.
They were
like in there. They were standing in their door.
She was walking past them, and then she was bleeding from her face. And then she was like, "Could you go get Connor?" And then they ran and they rang the doorbell, and they were very panicky. And then I was like, "Don't worry, I got her."
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah, I was fine. I was kind of, because we live like upstairs, I was a little bit worried about that I'd hit my head. It kind of felt like I'd hit my head, and I was a little bit woozy and sort of dazed, and I wasn't sure if I should go into the stairwell by myself.
Yeah.
Because if I had hit my head and fainted or something like that, I just didn't want to deal with that. So I asked the neighbours to run and grab Connor. And yeah, I was fine. Pretty bruised.
Your body and your ego.
No, my ego is intact.
Inflated. She said, "I can survive that. I should be going faster."
Yeah. But yeah, between that and work, I've been pretty busy. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. Unless is there anything else you would like to talk about? Any final words? Before
you gesticulated towards the camera. I thought you were asking them.
No.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? No? Okay.
Yeah, like it's like Mr. Tumble or something.
Yeah. I don't know what Mr. Tumble is, but...
Really?
Dora the Explorer.
Sure.
It's
like that, but...
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be recording another podcast episode. It was really fun to have Connor on the episode. I think
it was fun to be here. It's nice to collab with a smaller YouTuber.
I think there's a bit of a different energy to me, at least, or to my personality when Connor's around. When other people are around in general, it's totally different to be talking to your phone.
Yep.
Which is different from talking to your phone when you know that there's hundreds of people who are going to be looking at it, which is incredible. I just want to thank you for the likes and the subscribes, the really nice comments. It has been so lovely. Somebody recently commented, I'm one of your original 34, which I was just like, I was almost crying, because it was like, just seeing that versus, and then I think I literally had somewhere around 340 subscribers at that point when I read that I'm one of your original 34. Was just like so heartwarming and so like, yeah. And that is different, talking to your camera when you know that there's hundreds of people who are watching is also different from talking and there's another person actually in the room.
Yeah.
So I think I've been in a bit of a more funny, like giggly.
Yeah, Nicole's very funny. Nicole's the funniest person I know.
Well,
that's why I keep her around.
Wow, you should comment on my YouTube videos.
So you don't know all my alt accounts. Nah, Nicole's so funny, and that's the thing that's kind of why. I mean, it's fun to be on here and to chat to you, but that's what I was hoping. Like me being on here would sort of it would encourage you to have more of it, because it's hard to just stare at a camera and make jokes at a camera if you're not in that conversational sort of way. So I was hoping that my presence would sort of allow you to kind of to present more of your kind of comedic self. Sure,
although that kind of sounds like I'm wanting to break out into niche knit comedy like vibe, which is not what's going on here. But yeah, it was fun to have you.
Thanks.
This is the last time you'll be on. Not really. We all want to see the progress on your whip. Because I know that bear's neck is cold. With that, I think we can both say thank you for watching.
And
goodbye. Sorry, no, we didn't say it right. This has been This Thread of Gold
knitting podcast.
No, don't do that anymore. Stop. This has been This Thread of Gold knitting podcast, episode 3. I have been Nicole.
And you already know it's your host, Connor from Connor's Corner.
It's your boy.
And this bean... As I say, what did I say? This bean is... This
Brown bean podcast or something?
This bean of brown. This thread of gold, this bean of brown. I think that's what I called it, yeah. You're a host of those 2 sub-podcast episodes.
That's you.
That's me.
Thank you so much.
The real reason the subscribers are here.
Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, post a coffee cup emoji
in your comment. Leave a normal comment, because you guys leave great, wonderful, detailed comments. I'm always surprised when I click see more and then it's like paragraphs, and I'm like, wow, these people are so awesome.
Yeah.
So just leave the coffee cup and see if you can integrate it into your otherwise knitting related comment.
I guess maybe you can do a what's in your cup if you're drinking anything. If you're drinking anything fancy or interesting, let me know what you're knitting. I think there's a few questions I asked throughout the video. But yeah.
If people have coffee questions, you should leave them down below, because I like coffee a lot. It's my main hobby. It's been my main hobby for 10 plus years now. Yeah. What a personality. This is what I bring.
On this video only,
you
can leave a comment for Connor if you really want to, about coffee,
Yep.
or about beer, or about mustaches.
Yeah. Also had a mustache for.
Okay, or about or about his Ingrid sweater, because any comments about the Ingrid sweater, I will add
to me.
Connor's response.
Expert opinion.
First. But yeah, thanks for watching. This has been such a long outro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. The Queen's way.
That's not what she looks
To
like.
my royal subjects.
It's like this. What do you
That's what she's looked like. That's the Queen at like a hula contest.
We're done.
It was so lame. Alright, nice one. Did you use the knife to cut along the top?
No.
No, good. Something scratched on the top of my head.